Hey, this is Ryan Douglas here, watching the Todd Longino show. You need to join us. Welcome back to another special edition of the Todd Longino show. We're live out here in Los Angeles, California, and we're sitting with another special guest, Ryan Douglas. How you doing? Pleasure to meet you all. Now, you just got done telling me that you're an executive chef. You were for how many years? I've been an executive chef for 32 years. I recently retired because I've moved into consulting. I do a lot of consulting for the state of California, the Board of Education, teaching culinary classes to people that provide culinary services to preschools. A lot of times they don't get the chance to go to a culinary school to really learn their craft to be able to provide a better, healthier product to the students. So that's what I've migrated into. The rigors of being a chef and running a large kitchen and stuff can be strenuous. So I thank the Lord that I made it to retirement and I'm moving on into something better. Now you mentioned preparing the proper meals for kids. We know a lot of schools across the country, they're not getting the the meal that they have. I don't even know my daughter's 16 and she comes home and she shows me in a picture what they eat at school, and she goes to a pretty decent school. So how do we change that? How do we get the food and nourishment to the kids that they need every day? What you first got to do is you got to get buy-in from your clientele. Who's your clientele? It's kids. What I do is I'll set up a full catering right in the middle of campus, skirts, trays, gourmet fruits, and all these different things, and I present that to the children. And I have survey cards. And what I do is I go to several different schools, and by that time we can draw an analysis on what they like and what they don't like. Then I get with the vendors, produce vendors, those that provide the foods and stuff like that, making sure that they meet state requirements, wheat breads, low sodium, and things like that, and craft those type of meals to be able to meet their palates. I was successful in developing. A lot of people make it hard. I try to make it simple. I introduced a lot of different gourmet salads and sandwiches to the middle and high school students, and all of our elementary schools have salad bars. So you provide them the opportunity to be able to see healthy, whole produce. Kids like colors. You want to make it user friendly. There's nothing worse than a little kid with a big old apple and he's snaggletooth up here and he ain't got no teeth and he can't eat it. So what do? You cut it up. You make it user friendly for them to where they'll be able to say, look, mommy, look what I've been able to do. Look what we've been eating. And when you be able to go in like I do chef in the classroom. So they'll be able to say, hey, mom, there was a chef. So when they go to the store, hey, guess what, mommy, let's try this. Because it's on the salad bar. It's what we've been introduced to. We've got buy-in from the students, and we work with the vendors and the produce companies to be able to provide that healthy product for them. Yeah, because we know that when kids are eating healthy and they're drinking healthy, they perform better in school.
Yes.
So why isn't this idea being duplicated throughout the United States? Well, we've tried. I was one of the chefs that had the opportunity to go to Michelle Obama's. I went to Michelle Obama's initiative starting, and I was one of the chefs that was able to go there and work with her on her initiative, Let's Move, and being able to put healthier foods and exercise and things like that in the classroom. So we have been trying, but you get a lot of people with various doctrines, should I say, about their perception of what children should have and what they shouldn't have in our schools. And to me, it's a shame because these children are our future. They can be black, pink, polka dot, red, green spots. It don't matter. That's our future. If we don't invest in our future, we don't have one. Now, you also have a background in technology.
Yes.
They call you the serial entrepreneur. How did you earn that name, and what is your background in technology? Because we're in the tech world now. Well, my children, they introduced me to Facebook and Snapchat and all that stuff. When you're at home and you're providing for a family, you're going, okay, baby, I see you. I'm gone. I'm going to work. But as you develop and build relationships with your own children,
You start getting introduced to all this technology and all the different things that are out there nowadays. So actually, my children taught me. It wasn't like I went out and looked for it, but they did teach me.
So now you're into the entertainment business.
Yes.
This is the second year for the festival,
Yes.
and you have a company that provides a way to buy tickets called Airborne. Am I
Yes.
correct?
Yes. My cousin, Mark Douglas, is the actual producer for this, and what we do, you know, back in the day, black families used to do these things together. They used to do entrepreneurships in businesses, doctors, barber shops and car dealerships and everything we sustained ourselves. So we're just getting back to that same premise as a family. So I came on board to help him be able to promote this because it had been a void in this market area in Los Angeles for quite some time. We had a few jazz concerts and things like that, but we hadn't got back to the demographic base of what people like as far as R&B, soul music, hip hop, things like that. So he's trying to bring that genre back into this metropolitan area because he has a background in it. So I just came on board to help him.
And also being a black business that's big. So what is your message to young black entrepreneurs who want to get out there and try different things, who want to be innovative, feel like they can't do it for various reasons? What message would you have for them?
Set up short term, mid term, and long term goals. Set those priorities about how you want to perceive yourself, first of all, because a lot of it is your own self perception. You know, the word says, Bible says, speak those things that are not as if they are so. So you perceive yourself as being able to be successful. Now you find out what talent you have. Make those short term, mid goal, and long term goals and get to the point to where you can get those goals accomplished. When you look up, you will have already gotten your education. You have already gotten the platform to be able to present a business plan to a bank. You will have already spoken to those individuals that can graft you in and teach you some of the things that you need to do. And keep moving forward. Keep the faith. You can do it. Our people can do it. We've been doing it for how long? Long time.
So now with you being into the second year of this festival, what's been one of the biggest challenges of this year's festival, and what are you looking for going into the future with these festivals every year?
Well, with any large event or venue, there's always hiccups, there's always things, but being able to look at those things, dissect it like a recipe, being able to read a recipe, look at it, see what worked, see what didn't work, and experiment and do it again.
You still have a passion for it. Every time you talk about this food, your face light up.
I can still throw down a little bit.
So the missus, you cook all the time then.
I cook all the time. I cater on the side, things like that. But I'm moving. I want to be diversified. As you get older, you don't want to just sit back. Okay, I'm done. I done did my thing. Take me on into Zion. No, I want to be diversified and be able to do different things that I've always had a passion to do. Because, growing up in the church, I sang, played instruments, so I like the music industry too, and being able to get backstage and see how the media works. How do you guys interview, what you do? Seeing how the stage techs set up their systems and their equipment and things like that. The interaction with managers, and you know how that can be. Managers and artists and things, and the whole dynamic, because artists can be creative people. You know what I'm saying? They can be very creative people. So that whole dynamic is what excites me to be able to help Mark with this program.
Your first passion though will always be cooking.
That's when I grew up. When you grow up, there was 5 boys in our family. And my mama said, you brothers ain't going to be killing me. Y'all going to get in here and help me with this. So we got in there and we had large family barbecues. We used to always eat dinners on Sundays. How often do you see that nowadays? That's how I grew up. All right, y'all, get in here and get these dishes done. You know how mama do. And it better be done right. Right. You know what I'm saying? So we grew up that way. We grew up around our food, our culture. That's how we interacted, the kitchen, around the kitchen, and auntie and them and cousins and them come over and we have big dinners and stuff. So I just grew a passion for it. And I like the reaction. Like I have a barbecue sauce that I'm trying to work on.
Exclusive. Exclusive.
All right, it's a blueberry chocolate barbecue sauce. It's a blueberry chocolate, and the way it's developed, the way that I do it, is very savory, tangy, but it has a real smooth, mellow taste when you fold the chocolate into it and things like that. So
It's under production right now. Are we in the stage?
it's under production right now. So I'm talking to several different distributors to try to get it out there, and I'm always marketing. This is no extra cost, but I do a cranberry barbecue. I do a collard green coleslaw. Real quick, shredded carrot, shredded cabbage. You know how you do your coleslaw mix. Pull the greens off the stem, roll it up, cut it into a chiffonade real fine. Fold it together, make your sauce, mayonnaise, mustard, sugar, black pepper, pineapple juice, splash of vinegar. Fold in dried cranberries, chopped mangoes, pineapple, and chopped pecans. Fold it together and try it.
Woo. You just gave that one away for free.
That's a collard green coleslaw.
So, moving forward,
Okay.
we know you into the tech world,
Yes.
and now you're getting ready to come out with a sauce. You're doing the festival.
Yeah.
What is coming outside of those three things? What's next for Mr. Douglas?
I want to really work at the technical aspect, the backstage aspect, and build that craft for large promotions and productions like this. I've already mastered something, and I want to get into something else to where I can say, you know what, I see a growth area that I can learn. Always try to learn and do something different, you know. So that's what I want to do, be able to help Mark and Airborne with being able to put these productions on seamless. You know how you want to master something? You know how you run track, but you're not quite at that mark, but you want to get there. That's when I tell young people, you're going to get to that mark if you keep perseverance, if you keep trying, if you keep doing those things. So that's what I want to develop right now. I want to be able to master being able to be a backstage manager and being able to flawlessly work with artists, media, and things like that.
I'm glad you said that because a lot of us want to be in the front. They don't know there's powerful people in the back. And the most powerful people are not the ones in front of the camera.
How you gonna build a house with no foundation? That joker gonna fall on you quick. Then you're gonna be standing there like this, a deer in the headlights, wondering what happened. Build your foundation, then build your house.
Now, I ask everybody this question, okay? This is why I end a lot of interviews. For young black entrepreneurs, people who are going to watch this interview and be inspired by the words that you said.
Okay.
What are 3 keys to success you would give them so they can take that and add it to what they're doing right now?
The biggest key, keep God first in your life. Without him, you can't do nothing. The second key, get an education. Learn your craft. There's nothing worse than getting into something and you don't know what's going on and you're standing in the middle of a mess. The third thing is, get good people around you. You don't have to be the smartest one. You don't have to be the smartest person. But if you've got smart people working with you that got your back, and you're building a company from that, and they know that as the boss, you're going to do whatever it takes to make them whole and happy, you're going to be successful.